What's poppin', people? It's Dante. Welcome to my treehouse symposium here in the woods, Philadelphia. And so, yeah, today I actually wanted to discuss why you should try the Ricoh GR digital camera. The Ricoh GR3, the Ricoh GR3X are currently the best in 2024 when it comes to everyday photography. Personally, I do street photography, and what I find to be the most liberating thing about utilizing this particular digital camera is that you can photograph life as it is, as a personal diary, right? Where the camera itself, you know, sits so compact in your pocket, in your hand, on a wrist strap, you know, where I bring it with me everywhere I go. And I could list a laundry list of things technically that make the camera so great, but when you see the way in which it can fit in a pocket like that, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. You know, I believe that the future of photography is going to be based around these compact digital cameras, and Ricoh currently makes the best one. And the reason why you should try this is because it might liberate and create a whole new approach and philosophy for how you view photography. And I think that when I personally made the switch in 2015 from shooting with a Leica M3, photographing using film, like I was learning after at the end of high school when I was 17, 18 years old, and I transitioned to the Ricoh GR2, I removed the viewfinder, right? Where I was confined to that traditional rangefinder, eye level point of view or perspective, shooting with 35mm film. But when I removed the viewfinder, picked up a Ricoh, threw it on a wrist strap, and stepped out onto the front lines of life in Baltimore at a basketball court, I put the camera into P mode, single point autofocus, and made one of my best photos of all time. And I made so many photos during this time that were, I believe, some of my best work. And the reason is, I liberated the way I saw photography from this rigid process of making a perfect composition to opening up the intuition and the spontaneous nature of photographing with an LCD screen. You know, removing the viewfinder first and foremost, I believe, is going to be the biggest shift, and the biggest reason why you should try it is to just see if you like it, right? To see if you can shoot without the viewfinder and see what that does for you creatively. You know, where that to me is a really big deal. It's the viewfinder itself, it's the compact size. And then, you know, when it comes to the technicalities, I mean, you don't really need to know how to shoot. You just kind of point and shoot, right? You don't have to think too much, you just shoot. P mode, snap focus, autofocus, like everything is fast and intuitive. So anyone can pick it up, and I think this is a great thing, you know, where I don't have to set aside time in my day where I'm going to make photographs. You know, we're all okay, let me put my camera on, you know, my neck, you know, let me get the neck strap, let me put on my photography cap and go and take pictures. You simply snapshot your way through life and photograph life as it is. And the photographs you make become authentic and raw and candid and spontaneous due to the simple nature of how you shoot with the LCD screen, carrying it around with you wherever you may be. Where I'm currently on break right now, going for a stroll, finding myself lost in nature, photographing the details and the multifaceted complexities of life, maybe even just light itself. You know, like look at this beautiful leaf here and the way the light is peering through, where I have macro mode. I can come up really close and make this beautiful abstraction utilizing the small JPEG file with high contrast black and white baked into the camera. And what this does for me is it actually gives me the fastest workflow possible. And yeah, this to me is really, this is a really big deal. You know, where photographing with a small JPEG and having everything baked into the file, you know, you can use, I think they have like positive film for color, the high contrast black and white for black and white. I then come home and I don't even need to process any of the files. You know, they give you a beautiful JPEG straight out of camera, and you know, the photographs that I'm making become this sort of instant sketch of life itself. Like, look at this freaking amazing light and the detail that you can pick up with the macro function, P mode, just pointing and shooting, you know, where the lens is so sharp that a small JPEG file is still going to retain a lot, you know, the quality and the sharpness and all of that sort of beauty. So why should you try the Ricoh? You should try the Ricoh because it brings joy to your life. You know, where I'm having more fun than I've ever photographed in my entire life. And I do believe that the tool that I'm using is influencing that joy and that lust for life that I feel. Because now I view every opportunity that's within reach as a potential thing for me to photograph, whereas in the past I would have the camera on the neck at certain times of the day looking for certain moments and stories to share. But now I'm photographing much more loosely and spontaneously, and this approach simply makes photography fun again for me, and maybe it will for you. And if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you've been burnt out from your photography, while changing gear shouldn't always be the solution, I think removing a viewfinder, if you're using a viewfinder, which I'm sure you are because pretty much every camera now has viewfinders, picking up a Ricoh and just trying it out will make you see, maybe a compact camera works better for me, right? Maybe the rangefinder, maybe shooting film, you know, maybe using interchangeable lenses and bigger cameras is something I should contemplate more. Maybe I should try something different. And the Ricoh is the complete standalone differentiation from the pack when it comes to all of the digital cameras, right? It's the simplest camera possible, stripping down to the bare bones lens, built into the camera, compact size that allows you to throw it in your pocket. And then the simple functionality where you don't need to know much about the technicalities of photography, and you can simply point and shoot and snapshot. So it becomes this democratic device, or this democratic tool that anyone can pick up and learn how to use instantly, and find yourself photographing endlessly, right? Like that to me is the goal, is to make more pictures, right? The goal is to remain more productive with my photography. And in order for me to achieve this goal of making more photographs, I need to have a camera with me. And so, unfortunately, a bigger camera is gonna weigh me down and I'm not gonna wanna take it out and shoot. But with a Ricoh, there's just no excuse. And so, I believe that you should try it out because you'll start making more pictures. And I think that's gonna be inevitable. You know, you pick up a Ricoh, you're gonna be shooting more. And once you start shooting more, yeah, I think you'll start improving more. And I just wanted to make a quick message about this because I've never felt so much joy in my photography, and I do have everything to thank for using the Ricoh GRIII and the Ricoh GR3X. Yeah, they're simply the best. Compact digital cameras will be and are the future. Try it out. Yeah, who knows, like maybe you can even find a way to like rent one, test one or something online. I don't know how this shit works. Maybe you go to like a camera shop and like see if you can take it out for a walk. It's worth trying just to see, right? It's like a drug, right? Just try it. Come on, you know you want to. Once you get on it, you're gonna be hooked. Okay, I'm just out here in my tree symposium trying to get you to try it. Just try it. No, but in all honesty, yeah, removing a viewfinder, it's simply liberated me and showed me a whole new world through photography.